So hello guys and welcome back to my post-fight breakdown of the Misfits Series 4 event, KSI Vs Temper along with the complete undercard. What an event this was. Each and every fight was something you'd imagine in a wildest dream. Everything was picture perfect. So let's start the breakdown. The first fight, Idris Virgo vs Anthony Taylor. So basically Idris Virgo beat your pretty boy Anthony Taylor by unanimous decision, in a pretty fascinating way to be fair though. From the first bell, Virgo looked like more of a composed boxer than Taylor, and no doubt Virgo is a better boxer than Taylor, with 12 professional boxing wins in his bag at the time of entering the ring. Throughout the fight, Taylor was trying to get on the inner side of Virgo, which in his defense was the optimal strategy for a shorter fighter, but Virgo was a little more prepared for this and he leveraged out the opportunity. Something amazing about the fight was that every shot Virgo landed on Taylor was so hard that it sounded as if Virgo was hitting the pads. And something we know and that we have seen in the past is that Taylor is a tough cookie, and this guy can take shots. In spite of that, Virgo grounded Taylor with 2 or 3 knockdowns, I guess, so probably the fight went all the way to decisions, and without a doubt, Virgo was crowned the champion by 40-32 unanimous decision. And mind you, this was only the first fight of the night, and more fights like this were to come. The second fight of the night, Ilbrook vs Faith Woodway. This for me was more like a one-round brawl than a fight. Both the fighters were bleeding from their nose and their face were swollen in the very first round. The referee had to stop the fight around 1 minute and 40 seconds in a 2 minutes round. Ilbrook won the fight by TKO, but Faith seemed unsatisfied by the decision as it happens in most of the TKOs. And this was a very intense fight, and if the fight had not come to an end in the first round, the fight could have gone either way as both the fighters seemed hurt, and with the intensity they showed in the first round, it's very unclear with that intensity if any one of those fighters would have lasted the complete 3 rounds. Props to both the fighters, Faith Woodway and the winner Ilbrook, for getting in the ring and giving their absolute best. The third fight of the night, Ryan Taylor vs Swarms. This fight was completely different than what I expected it to be. Swarms kind of ended the fight in his very first jab. This was not what I had expected from Ryan Taylor, seeing him against Slim in what could be said as the bloodiest fight in YouTube boxing. But it seemed that Ryan suffered an injury below his left eye and was saying he could not see properly and he was feeling a constant pain in the back of his head. So the ref called off the fight, and I think this was a good call, as health should always be the prime priority in any sport. So kudos to Swarms and hope it's not a big health issue for Ryan. The fourth fight and the mystery fight, B-Dave versus the mystery opponent. This was a complete surprise for everyone in the audience, as B-Dave was fighting a mystery opponent who wasn't unveiled until the ring walk. And guess who the mystery opponent turned out to be? The GOAT, Luis Alcaraz Pineda. Yes, the same guy who fought KSI in Misfits Series 1. I don't know why, but I was more happy than shocked to see Pineda back in the ring. No doubt Pineda was the crowd favorite, and the crowd went wild. The arena seemed more hyped seeing Pineda box and win as compared to even Papi or Slim fight. Pineda was a completely different fighter than what we had seen against KSI. The fight lasted for a complete 3 rounds, but as soon as the bell rang, the crowd went crazy for Pineda. And since it's Misfits, we can expect Pineda to be back in the ring in future cards. The fifth fight of the night, Saul Poppy vs Josh Brockner. And finally, the people's fight of the night, Saul Poppy vs Josh Brockner. And boy oh boy was it correctly labelled. Throughout the first round, all Poppy was doing was measuring the distance with some jabs and doing some blocks. But as the rounds progressed, Poppy went God mode and landed a left hand counter that sent Brockner flying into the ropes. After that punch, Brockner could not get up, and I highly doubt anyone else could have. This was not what people had expected from the fight, but exactly what people had expected from Saul Poppy. Poppy proved that he is the real deal. And now I highly doubt anyone would be up for the fight against Poppy next. But post-fight, Poppy called out Jake Paul, and Logan posted this, so you never know. And Poppy was named the fighter of the night, so kudos to Poppy and good luck for his next fight, as this one is definitely gonna be a huge name. The sixth fight and the co-main event, Slim Albahar vs Tom Zanetti. This event was worthy to be deemed as the co-main event for the night. 4 rounds of 3 minutes each, and each minute was entertaining as hell. Slim entering the ring was a fan favorite, but Tom Zanetti gave him a fight for his money. They were trading shots throughout the fight. The intensity was there, the technique was there, so this fight was full of entertainment. The fighters were switching from orthodox to southpaw and vice versa mid-fight pretty smoothly. The fight lasted for an entire 12 minutes, and in that there was moments where both the fighters wobbled, but none had the gas left to knock the other. At the end, Slim won by unanimous decision, but the fight was, like I said, worthy to be called co-main event of the night. And now, the last and the main fight of the night, KSI vs Faze Temper. This was the fight all of us were waiting for, the main man, KSI. This fight was scheduled to be 6 rounds of 3 minutes each. But what did JJ need? 1 round. Like he said, he ended when he wanted to. The left-right combination from KSI was not something anyone in this world was expecting, let alone Faze Temper. The first round had much intensity to it, but as soon as JJ landed that combination, there was no chance the fight would have continued. Temper was flat on the ground. He tried to wake up but instantly fell halfway, so the ref had to call off the fight. This knockout won the knockout of the night and was deservingly so. KSI did the coldest knockout of his boxing career and later did the coldest afterwalk. Later in the post-fight interview, he faced off Joe Fournier, who was desperately asking for a KSI fight. At this point of time, everyone is trying to do so. As from the example of Pinheira and Swam, it's clear that even with a loss against KSI, the fighter gets the fame they would have hardly got in their life otherwise. So, all in all, this was a big event not only for KSI and other winning fighters, but also as a whole for YouTube boxing. OVO Arena, with a capacity of around 13,000 audience, was sold out. And the recent news of Misfits and the Zone's 5-year deal means that KSI and his promotion company are on an upward trajectory, and this means only one thing for the viewers, and that is entertainment. Thank you guys for watching the video and sticking with me till the end. If you want more YouTube related content in the future, do like the video and subscribe to the channel.